Hey there, welcome back everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is John Clayton. I'm a recovering drug addict and alcoholic, and I've been clean and sober since February 21st, 2021. And I think I mentioned the last reading that, that because my glasses are messed up, and these are reading glasses, and I was using a secondary pair of glasses to try and read the words the other day, but now I got something a little bit bigger to help me out. So we should be able to get along a little bit easier. So with that in mind, let's get started. It's the date today. It's November 29th today, and we are talking about fearful mothers, or the story is called Fearful Mother. In this story, originally published in our little white book and added to the basic text at the second edition, a mother learns that she can come out of the paralyzing fear of addiction and turn her whole life around. She claims her seat as a woman in NA and hopes that one day more women will find recovery. Fearful Mother is called. I thought an addict was a person who was using hard drugs, someone who was on the streets or in jail. My pattern was different. I got my drugs from a doctor. I knew something was wrong, yet I tried to do right. At work, in my marriage, and in raising my children, I really tried hard. I would be doing well, and then I'd fail. It went on like this, and each time it seemed like forever. It seemed like nothing would ever change. I wanted to be a good mother. I wanted to be a good wife. I wanted to be involved in society and never felt a part of it. I went through years of telling my children, I'm sorry, but this time it will be different. I went from one doctor to another asking for help. I went for counseling, feeling everything will be all right now. But the inside was still saying, what is wrong? I was changing jobs, changing doctors, changing drugs, trying different books, religions, and hair colors. I moved from one area to another, changed friends, and moved furniture. I went on cal- I went on vacations and also remained hidden in my home. So many things through the years, constantly feeling I'm wrong, I'm different, I'm a failure. When I had my first child, I liked it when they knocked me out. I liked the feeling of the drugs they gave me. It was a feeling that whatever is going on around me, I didn't know, and I don't care, really. Through the years, the tranquilizers gave me the feeling that nothing is really that important. Toward the end, things became so mixed up, I was not sure what was and what was not important. I was shaking inside and out. Drugs would not help. I still trying, but very little. I had quite I had quit work and was trying to go back, but I couldn't. I could be on the couch afraid of everything. I was 103 pounds and I had sones on my lips and sores on my lips and in my nose. I had diabetes and shook so that I had a hard time putting a spoon in my mouth. I felt I was out to kill myself and people around me were out to hurt me. Physically and mentally, I had a breakdown. I had just become a grandmother and I could not even communicate with a small child. I was almost a vegetable. I wanted to be a part of living but did not know how. Part of me said I'd be better off dead, and part of me said there has to be a better way of living. When I started on the program of NA, there was a lot of people who suggested that everyday things, everyday things for me to do, like eating, talking, taking a bath, getting dressed, going for a walk, going to meetings. They told me, don't be afraid, be brave. All gone through this. I went to a lot of meetings through the years. One thing has stuck with me, one thing they said from the beginning. Betty, you can stop running and you can be whatever you want to be and do whatever you want to do. Since being on the program, I have I have been oh sorry. Since being on the program, I have listened and watched many people and have seen them go through many ups and downs. I have used the teachings I felt were best for me. My work area has had to change and I have been going to school. I have I have had to relearn all this all the way back to the grammar school level. It has been slow for me, but very rewarding. I also decided that I need to know me better before I can have a meaningful relationship with a man. I am learning to communicate with my daughters. I am trying many things which I wanted to do for years. I am able to remember many things that I had pushed out of my mind. I have found that Betty is not that big pile of nothing, but is someone and something. And I never really stopped to look at or listen to April 1 will be my 5th NA birthday. How's that for April Fool's Day? I have been asked to update my story. This April 1st will be my 10th year birthday, I think. Where I been and have really grown. I know that I have gotten married. I would like to say I love my husband very dearly, and at times this is hard to say. I love my husband very dearly, and at times this is hard for me to say. Expressing a deep feeling for any person has been very hard for me. I have felt like it would be taken away or that he would hurt me or laugh at me. That has happened at times, but I have still loved him, and it has not been that big and crushing a deal. I am learning not to put him or myself on a pedestal. If I am expecting too much of him, that means I had better look a little closer at myself. There are times when we can talk, and there are times it takes time before we can talk. How boring if we both thought alike and everything went smoothly, or if we fought constantly. I will get feelings of running away from home and maybe going back to the islands or Michigan. I have been living in the same place for almost 4 years. I think that is a record for me. I am still moving furniture around. I love it and would like to put everything on rollers. It would be a lot easier. I still do not understand men. Every once in a while, I tell my husband that I am a woman and I need to be taken to a movie or somewhere. I am learning to verbalize my needs to another person. I also go to the show alone once in a while. I graduated from high school 2 years ago. I would love to graduate from college, maybe sometime in the future. Everyone needs something to look forward to. My daughter, son-in-law, and grandmother gave me a violin for Christmas. When I was in grammar school, I took lessons for a very short time. The school stopped giving lessons and took back their violin, and I never forgot that. I started out this year by slowly taking lessons, and I became obsessed. I was going to two teachers and studying out of three different books. I found myself looking at one of my books and saying, "Where am I? So, how am I back at to one teacher and one book?" I had a breast operated on, and they removed part of it. I will not say that this was a whiz because it wasn't, but I was luckier than some. I had the NA program and people to walk through it with me. I cannot say my life has been like tiptoeing through the tulips because that is not reality. I can say that my life is now getting better and I am more open to looking at walking in reality. With the world in such a turmoil, I feel I have been blessed to be where I am. I look at how NA has grown. We are in Germany, Australia, England, Scotland, Italy, Brazil, etc. Maybe someday we will reach the countries that are so damn hard to reach. I have been told there are not many women with a lot of time on the program. I am surprised when I hear this. I just assume there are, and maybe they have moved to other cities and states, maybe even to some of these countries that are so damn hard to reach. When a woman wants something bad enough, look out. She can move mountains. Or, sorry, she can move heaven and hell. One of the first things said to me was, "No one else in this world knows what you want but you. If you want to survive in this world, you had better do what is right for you, because no one else is going to do it." I get bumps and bruises, and I stuck my thumb up once in a while, but I sure get stronger each time. I have a dog named Baba Wawa. She was very tiny when my daughter gave her to me. My daughter said, "Mom, here is a little dog, and she will never grow very large." Well, she has grown very big, and she surprises me every once in a while. Last night, she tried to fight a big dog right through a chain link fence. I thought she was still a puppy, but she can stand her own. I guess it's like me. I have grown more than I realized, and unlike Baba Wawa, I have been known to climb the fence and go after whatever I want. I have also been known to knock those fences down. I feel like there is more to say, but who can I put all of 10 years down on paper? I would rather spend my time living it than writing it. I have been active in NA, answering phones, typing, and working in different areas of NA. I go to meetings. I go to meetings and talk and still feel funny and awkward. Sometimes I am a kid, all hyper. Other times it goes so smoothly that I can't remember what happened or what I said. But I feel good. What I am trying to say is, thank heaven nothing is as bad as it used to be, and that there is so much more of what there should be in my life. Wow. Yeah, that's a good story. I've got since I've been clean and sober, I've got so much gratitude today. More gratitude today than I think I would say that I've had my entire life. Like, seriously, I mean, I'm grateful that I'm alive for one. I'm grateful that I was finally able to put the drugs down or the dope down. I'm I'm glad that I still have enough functionality to look at my life and be aware of or I kind of know what I'm trying to say, but at the same time, I lose myself quite easily when I try to talk about what I thought, what I think, and what I believe, and what I've learned, and and it's not a matter of, or what I mean is, it's the way I guess I speak or the way I come across that sometimes even I lose myself when I think I have or when I have a thought in my mind as I'm trying to share it or get it out, but sometimes part way through that thought I get clouded, I guess, foggy maybe. I'm not sure really. I just know that my life is meant to be different, and I'm just glad that it's not too late for me to make that happen. And so that's where my goals lie every day now, is to do better than yesterday. To, if I can teach something, if I can help somebody else out, great. Then I'm accomplishing something. If I'm sharing something entertaining wise, like since I've been clean and sober, I've got 4 YouTube channels that I'm running right now, and I'm getting ready to start a fifth one, and or trying to set up for a fifth one. But I think I've said enough for now. Thank you again for joining me today. Um, I know you don't really see the magnifying glass when I'm trying to read, which I'm glad about because I look pretty silly wearing glasses and still using a magnifying glass to read. I'll end with this little story. There was a time where I didn't have any glasses for almost 10 years, and so I was trying to use those reading glasses, those magnifications, but I could never find strong enough strength in order for me to see clear enough to even read. And see, again, I'm starting to lose my train of thought. And so when I used to go to the library to use the computer, I would be, well, first off, I'd be wearing those reading glasses, the strongest strength that I could find, which at the time I think were only like 250s or 275s. And then at the same time and I'm got one of these as I'm like this right up to the monitor trying to see what I'm doing on the screen. People at the library had some pretty good laughs at seeing me do that, behave that way. But I got to do what I got to do in order to see. And until I get my glasses, get a proper prescription, I looks like I'm gonna be magnifying it for a while. But anyway, on that note, again, please hit like and subscribe. I would love you to join my community. We can, I'll be getting better at my readings and stuff, and more fluent and understandable, and let's, yeah, we can start a community together, and or have a place where we can, you know, share some experiences or share some comments, share, share, share something with me that makes you feel good, or leave a comment. Tell me what's one thing that you're grateful for today. You know, I would love to read that. Anyway, we'll call that a day, and we'll see you tomorrow for the Just for Today reading and the Spiritual a Day, Principle a Day reading. And other than that, when we do the next section of the basic text, we will see you soon. Okay, thank you. I had to think about that for a minute because I analyze myself and I know that I just sometimes tend to babble, and like I'm babbling right now. So, bye for now.